we're in Manchester interviewing the legend Johnny Nelson. Too cool for school.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
right?
Oh my God, I'm double down in a bit today. So I'm thinking, drop some 1970s old school stuff.
Listen, there's one man that you can put it off.
All right, then we'll get away with it.
How's everything going?
It's going well. It's going well. It's a mad season for boxing at the moment. I think boxing's on a high here in the UK. Fighters from all over the world want to be involved in boxing on our shows. You have the likes of Anthony Joshua leading the way, and he's such an advert for our sport. And then I'm fortunate enough to be working alongside some clever sportsmen, successful sportsmen, such as Golf Watch, such as Tony Bellew. The list goes on. Knowledgeable people like Matthew Macklin. You know, the list goes on. Paulie Malignaggi. These guys, it's an amazing team that you're with because we have some serious banter. And funny enough, you know, the ones you unless you know them personally, these guys have got serious character. I think the funniest one out of the lot of them is actually Carl Froch. So when he's winding everybody up, about 80,000 people, trust me, he knows what he's doing. They'll ask him to take a picture and they'll just give it like Elvis. He won't smile and go out. And so, and he knows what he's doing. But we have a good laugh.
So I mean, with you, like with your career, awesome career, awesome.
You know what? I think some people know their path in life from birth. They just go that way. Some people fall onto their path in life, and some people are forced onto it. I think I was probably forced onto my path in life. I wasn't a hard man. I was just a man in a hard job. I wasn't, I wasn't a natural athlete. But I was around successful athletes, and so being around successful athletes and having an amazing mentor in Brendan Ingle, they were the right ingredients for me to be a champion. Remember, when I first started, I had 13 amateur fights, I won 3. People said, "You're rubbish, you're no good." And then I turned professional. People said, "You're rubbish, you're no good." The only person that stuck by me was Brendan Ingle, who passed away unfortunately this year. But his words of wisdom, second to none. His advice, second to none. The success that he achieved with fighters, not just me. I mean, fighters like Prince Asim Hamid, Harold Bomber Graham, Brian Anderson. The list goes on. Unbelievable. So now looking back in it, I think, you know what, you were put into a position where all you had to do was open your eyes and look around and see what was there. And they say it's hard to find the key to success. I found it. The key to success is work hard, expect the results. It doesn't mean you're arrogant. It doesn't mean you're a big head. It means you put the work in. Brendan taught me that from the off, and he drilled it into me.
What was your steps to get into boxing in the first place? Obviously, like coming from school.
Came from school, and it was funny because the school I went to used to be an all girls school, Catholic school run by nuns. So we were like the second year guinea pigs. And so when I'd left school, you know, it was a posh side of town. So when I'd left school, I was back in the ghetto, and so but I couldn't knock about with those boys there because I was always, you know, at school. And so when I come back, I had to start again. So I actually followed my brother who boxed. He was my hero. He was like Mr. Cool. And I only boxed because he boxed. But no, I only trained because he boxed. I didn't want to fight. I just wanted to train and make friends in the gym. And then he left. But I'd already established my friendship group, my circle within the boxing gym. So I was happy to train. I love training. A good friend of mine, we've been friends since we were 15, Mark Willey, an unbelievable personal trainer. But we train together. Like madmen. We do marathons at the drop of a hat. Half marathons, not 400, crazy. It was competition. It became lifestyle. We were always in the gym. We were always looking for that new thing to see if we could push ourselves. And we always, the one thing we did do was, you know, you'd go to gyms, you see bodybuilders, they were massive, you thought, that ain't real. But we challenge ourselves thinking, if we can beat that, we can beat anything. And that's how we looked at it. When I boxed 3 drugs cheats. And I beat him. So to me, cheating, taking gear or whatever it is, does not make you a better sportsman.
You can't take corners in this game.
That's right. It doesn't make you clever. It doesn't make you any smarter. And that's what I learned. So to me, if I know that, I think, all right then, I've just got your number. You know, that's all. And me and my friend Mark Willey, we made training, we made working out our lifestyle. And that's why I probably, you know, through my career, it got to the point, once the penny had dropped, I knew that I would never get beaten as world champion once the penny had dropped. Once I got it, I had all the ingredients. I was super fit, always super fit. It was my lifestyle. It wasn't like something you had to make me do. When I left the gym on a Friday at a weekend, Brendan wouldn't worry and think, oh, Johnny's going to go and eat and drink and booze all weekend.
Yeah.
It was my lifestyle. And that's what I say to people now. Even at my age, I'm 51 years old.
Yeah.
And when people say, how can you manage to find so much time to train? There's 24 hours in a day. You'll always find time. Get up earlier.
Yeah.
Do it in your lunch. Do it at night time. You can always grab an hour somewhere. Yeah. And so to me, I always made sure I got the sessions in. Yeah. Make sure I rested right, ate right, slept right, prepped right, and therefore everything would fall into place and I'd get the results I wanted.
I mean, do you think that's changed now, the current boxing generation that don't really live it? It's not a 24/7, 365 lifestyle. It's they'll go into camp 8 weeks. They'll fluctuate in weights. They'll put weight on and then cut for a fight 8 weeks.
I think there was a case of that up until Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
And the case was fighters would rock up to training camp 6, 8, 10 weeks, and once the fight's over, they disappear. Not realising you should stay on top of it. Not realising your body is like a car. It's like a machine. You've got to keep it prepped. Yeah. Even the gym fit. But then. It's like staying on top of computers. You've always got to be prepared to get the next move, to understand that it's got to be part of your life.
Because if you're not, your opponent is.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like Ricky Hatton, obviously he used to fluctuate in weights, and I think that may have had a detrimental effect on him.
When he needed it. And that was my issue. My issue was Ricky Hatton, his result, what he did was, he did everything wrong but got everything right.
Yeah.
And so, but to me, it wasn't the right example to set for the youngsters coming through.
Sure.
I don't want them to think it's all right to go at the weekend and drink 13 pints of Guinness in the night time.
Yeah, and gain stones.
And that is not the way forward.
Yeah.
Ricky could get away with it.
Yeah.
But when he needed it the most at the back end of his career, when he needed it most against Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, to me, when you cut corners, karma will find you.
Yeah.
And you think, you know what, I shouldn't have done that. When you're in a fight and your back's up against the wall and pressure's on you, trust me, it's not just a physical thing, it's a mental thing where mentally you're starting to think, God, I'm tired, God, he's hit me with shot, ouch, that hurts.
Yeah.
But if you think, nah, I've done everything right, I've trained right, I've prepped right, I'm ready for this, it gets you through a fight. But if you cut corners and you cheat, you think, last weekend I was on a live show or whatever, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. That's when you start to think, that becomes a massive tree. But if you've done everything expected of you, expect to win. And when I go and talk to athletes, when I go and talk to youngsters in schools, I say, you are not being arrogant, you are not being a big head. If you put the work in, expect the results. You are special. And once you do that, you're not, this is called civilian life, you're not a civilian. You don't feel like a civilian. And that's how you've got to look at it.
Well, for me, what's been most impressive about your career is that your first 3 fights, was it? You got defeated.
Yeah.
So for me, in my lifestyle of being a footballer, I kind of had that knockback when I was younger, and then being able to flip it is what I find super impressive.
And that to me, it's the sweetest feeling. It's the sweetest because you look at fighters coming through that are unbeaten, and they think you've got to keep the O. That's garbage. I had to do it hard way because I wasn't unbeaten. I didn't come from an outstanding amateur pedigree. I started as a professional. I'd lost my first 3 fights, so people thought he's a journeyman. He's no good.
Where's you at mentally? Like after them first 3 defeats, how did you then flip that to become the champion?
Right. So what it was I didn't define myself by boxing. So I didn't want people to just know me through boxing. So I'm not like Ricky Hatton. I'm not like Mike Tyson. I'm not even like Naz. Mentally. So when it comes to the fight game, I personally think they struggle to identify who they are away from the fight game. To me, the fight game was just a part of my life. So when I won or lost, it didn't kill me. I just thought, all right then, you've got to go through experiences, good and bad, to get wisdom. I was prepared to take that. I took the knocks. People didn't tell me I was rubbish behind my back. They said it to my face.
Okay.
So what happens is, you've got to either let these people, these armchair champions that say you're no good, break you. So you're the one that's getting up at stupid o'clock in the morning to train 2-3 times a day. And if you make an armchair champion type stuff and say negative things about you and think, I'm going to pack it in because Mr. Blogs or whatever it is, some anonymous guy said I was rubbish, you're more fool you, because you're the one putting the work in. So there was one person, everybody needs a mentor, you need a guide, you need someone to say, right, this is the way you go. You find that mentor, he will get you through. Brendan Ingle was my mentor. Brendan Ingle was the only guy that stuck me and said, Johnny, you will not come good until you're in your 30s. because
and
I said, Brent, I want to be a boxer when I'm 30.
Yeah.
No way. He said, some kids, like Naz, like Ryan, at 17, 18, 19, they were men in the ring. They thought like men.
Yeah.
When I was 19, I was a boy in a man's body. So I looked the part.
Yeah.
But mentally, even if I'd have won everything coming to me, I couldn't deal with the pressure because I was a boy. I was a mummy's boy. Yeah. And Brendan said, you come good when you're in your 30s. I'm thinking, what are you talking about? I won't be doing this when I'm 30.
I think that's a great lesson for inspiring athletes in any walk of life to persevere. Self-belief, and if you get knockbacks or you get turned away, for example myself, I got turned away at 16 when I didn't make it for England schoolboys, and that was the first time in my life I experienced the negative side of it. Oh, am I not good enough? But then I kept believing. Friends the same age fell out of football. Yeah. I stayed in it. Then I got turned away again, but I kept on going and I kept on going and kept on believing. And then in the end, I had a successful career.
And I bet the same guys that turn away from football the same time you were on, they now look at you and say, "What? I used to play alongside him. I was better than him." Yeah. You understand? And that's what kills them. That's what gets them. Yeah. I remember boxing a guy. In fact, a guy called Peter Brown. You look on my record. He was my first professional fight. He beat me. And me and the boys went out in Hull one night. I was world champion. Me and the boys went out in Hull one night. It was a rainy night. And we got to I didn't know we went to this club. We went to queue up. He said, no, don't queue up, come get in. Boom, straight in VIP, straight to the front. All right. Yeah. And so when I got to the door, it's like Peter Brown. Johnny, tell these boys, tell these man, how you doing, Peter? All right? He said, tell these man. I said, yeah, he beat me. So he was bigging himself up. Yeah. The fact that he beat me. Yeah. And I'm thinking, I ain't got a problem with it. Yeah. But this was his like 15 minutes to say, yeah, I told him my bad, man. Yeah. So, and I was bigging him up saying he beat me, and we went inside and sat down. My mate said to me, Johnny, what did you do that for? I said, what do you mean? He said, why did you big him up like that? You didn't have to, you could have crushed him. I said, because me and you and all of us have come sat down in VIP, drinking free drink, in a nice area of the club. It's pouring down rain outside. He stood on the door with the other bouncers, having to check people coming in the rain. Yeah. Now what's going to happen is at some point, if it's not tonight, if it's not next week, at some point one of his boys are going to say, when he starts bragging the balls and say, I beat Johnny Nelson, he'll say, well, if you were that good, how comes he was in VIP and you're stood outside on the door? Rain, yeah. And then he's going to go to bed at night and think, why is that? Yeah. So what happened was, along the way, he decided to take a different path. He all gave up and thought, nah, I'm not giving this. But he'd look at somebody like me and think, I beat him, I was better than him. Yeah. And he ended up being retiring undefeated world champion. So the moral of the story is there's so many people out there that was a lot better than I was. Yeah. But if you put the work in, expect success. If you listen, it will come about. Yeah. But you've got to be patient. And it's a case of how much you want it. I wanted it enough to stick it out.
I think this is it. There's a lot of talent out there, natural talent.
Naturally, unbelievable.
But then without that, I think Floyd, I think that's why he's excelled, because I believe he had the work rate as well. Yeah. The natural talents.
And the work ethic. The work ethic. Even now, he still trains. I get what he's like. 3 o'clock in the morning, he's in his gym.
Do you think he'll come back?
I think it'd be silly too. Because that's ego talking. I think he can't improve on what he's done. Yeah. He's come back, he's done 50 now. I think he's a millionaire, multi-millionaire. That's ego talking. And we all go through that. It takes 5 years in boxing for you to shake that bug, to think, I'm a civilian now. It's horrible.
Civilian, I love that.
It's horrible. Because all of a sudden, from training in the gym with the boys, hitting the bag, think I'm doing this. Next minute, you're walking down Morrison's shopping lane, just like, I'll have porridge, I'll have some bananas, you're a civilian. Yeah. So it's hard to get your head around it. You're no longer special. And boxing doesn't train you to do anything apart from get in the ring and hit somebody else. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's the hardest thing about it. So when you identify yourself by that sport, once it's gone, I measured it to, it was like when I retired, it was like somebody stole a day out of the week. I knew something was missing. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know where to find it, but I knew something was missing. Yeah. And that was the hardest thing about retiring, because we all think we can still fight. I look at fighters now on TV and think, should I deal with him? I can't, I'm 51 years old.
I was going to say that you must get the urge.
Yeah, I'm 51 years old. And I think I can deal with it. So your mind can, but your body say, no, you can't. Not done. That game's over. And and that's the idea. And so that's why when it's there, when the opportunity's there, you see so many talented individuals coming through. They actually there's only one or two of them that can embrace the moment. Anthony Joshua is one of the few individuals that is embracing the moment. His age is at, he understands he's been boxing 10 years from start to this point now. So for what he's achieved, that means he's embracing every fight, every moment, every opportunity. And he's basically saying, look, I'm learning like everybody else. And so the youngsters coming through, they're going to understand a loss or something negative happening to you. It's part of character building. But they need to look at the history of their sport and other sports and other sportsmen and think, right, what have I got to do to find a key to success? It's a thin line between success and failure. When you find what success is, you think, I can never explain to you, but I know what it is. I know how to get there.
Yeah, I think with Josh, he does one in the sense of taking the pressure off himself by saying he's still a student. He's not arrogant. He's not. Probably inside he thinks, he's number one, but he's still saying he's learning, and I think he's playing that kind of well.
I became friends with Mike Tyson after he retired, and Mike said to me when he was 17 years old, he said I didn't have a bank account. When I was 19 years old, I had $300 million in the bank. He said it was the worst thing that could have happened.
That's a pressure in itself.
I'm thinking,
that's a pressure in itself.
He's saying to me, that's the worst thing that could ever happen. I said, why?
Yeah.
And he said, because I thought it was God.
Yeah.
I had cars, I had boats, I had houses, I had clothes, I had jewellery. And after a while, you can only have so much. You can only go on so many holidays. He said, then nobody said no to me. I thought it was God. He said, now looking back, that ruined me. And there was a woman sat in front. It was like one of these events here tonight where we've got George Groves on. Tyson was that day, we were talking in between him, and he said, see that woman there? I could give her 50 million, that destroy her life. I went, what? He said, because everybody views you differently. They look at you differently, and she'll think she can do what she wants.
Sure.
He said, it destroyed me. And I thought, wow, that's unbelievable. He said, when I got in the ring, I was scared. And I'm like, yo.
I've heard that, I've heard that.
He said, Johnny, I was scared. So it's fight or flight. So when I was in the ring, when I was losing at first, when I was scared, I mistook nerves for fear. That's right. So when I was nervous, I thought I was scared. So I'd want to run, hold, not do anything, get out of the way. That's flight. With Tyson, when he was scared, he's thinking, if I'm going, I'm taking you out with me. I'm going to fight my way out of this. He said he was scared, he was terrified. So he said, when you see me walking out into the ring, he said, I don't even recognise that guy. And he's talking now as a big man, as an adult. He said, I was scared, but you would never believe I was scared. I'm telling you, I was scared. So it's how we all deal with certain situations, how we all deal with certain pressures, how we all deal with certain stresses. You'd play football, and I'd be thinking, how the hell do you do that? Because it's become part of your lifestyle. Your style, after retirement, you just think you could run rings around nothing because it's become part of lifestyle. To me, it was part of lifestyle. And that's why
lifestyle.
And that's why, even now when I'm retired, I like to keep myself in good condition, good shape. To me, it could be vanity, could be ego, but it's lifestyle. To me, it's lifestyle. I want to think, you know what, I'm all right, man. And that's how I look at it.
I think it's important for athletes when they've been professional and they've been doing it for such a long time, consistently over a period of time. It's key to stay active. Because you see a lot of, especially footballers, they go bold, they put a load of weight on because they're not active, and they probably continue eating the foods that they used to eat while they're training, like high carbs and stuff like that. So I think it's really important to keep active.
It's a must. It's a must. And I know when you did it as your profession, you had to do it.
You had to do it,
so you want to rebel. You think, I can eat what I want. When I retired, I remember I thought I can drink now. I can have a drink. So I went out, because I didn't drink normally, I went out, and all the boys, we all went out, thinking, right, what am I going to have? I got to the bar, and I'm thinking, I don't like beer because it smells. So I'm thinking, what shall I drink? So I'm thinking, a television, martini, James Bond. I didn't know what to order. So I'm like, drink this drink, and they're like, it tasted nasty. But then I got on the red wine, I must have 3 glasses of red wine. I was home by 9:30, I was gone. You know what I mean? So once I had that freedom, I didn't know how to handle it, because I'd had that discipline in my life all my life. And when you take it away, and you try, every sportsman and woman, once they get away, and they get away from not having to do something, they'll try, but it won't last. It won't last, because we are a different breed, because we are obsessive. So whatever we get involved in, we want to do it to the max. And so that's why we became successful as sportsmen and women. because we pushed it beyond that point of I've had enough now. That's right.
OCD.
And so that's why when we drink hard. When we take drugs hard.
When we're in, we're in.
Yeah, when we're in, we're in. You know what I mean? And that's why we need to just find that happy medium, find that balance. There's only a few of us, like you and I, that keep ourselves in good shape. And I think that's how it should be. I'm happy, I'm all right.
What's your training regime, man? You say you're training twice there at the minute.
Yeah, so when I boxed, my regime was I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go for a run.
3 a.m.
3 a.m. in the morning, go for a run. Reasons were one, that I knew my opponent would be asleep, he'd be in bed. So that's one for me. This is mentally getting yourself strong. Yeah. 2, I put myself in a frightening situation where I understood what nerves were, I understood what fear was. So I'd run through woods, near a graveyard, right, at night, and I was scared, because remember when you start training camp, and you've got to train. That's when you do all this mad stuff to get yourself mentally right. And I'm thinking, at first you're thinking, I'm going to deal with this, but then you're thinking, hold on a minute. If somebody's here to get me, he's going to be thinking, what's that mad 6'3" black man doing running through the woods?
Yeah.
So he's going to be thinking, I'm mad. So it's getting your head to deal with fear. Then eventually you make fear your friend. Yeah. And you think you run with fear. So it's put yourself in all those conditions. So I do my run 3 o'clock in the morning, finish, get back, have a shower, a bit of a rest, back in the gym, 7:30 in the morning. We do technical stuff, footwork, bag work, pad work, until about 9 o'clock. And then come back at 4 o'clock, that's when the sparring began.
4 o'clock in the afternoon?
Yeah, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, that's when the sparring began. I do that 5 days a week. 5 days a week I do that. I'm supposed to have Sunday off. Sunday I gave as my pig day, where I could eat what I wanted. Yeah. And it helped me stick to my diet in a week, because all the things I wanted, I love Mr. Kipling's cherry baked rolls. Yeah. I love Walker's crisp. Yeah. And so what I do is I buy them and put them in the cupboard. I think, right, pig day I'm having it.
Sunday, yeah.
And it came to Sunday, I probably had 1 or 2 of them left it. So it helped me keep weight down, and it kept me mentally. It was a way you play with your mind to settle it down. Now I've retired. For a while I just thought, I need a regime. I need something to think, right, John, you can't do that because you're fighting in a few weeks' time. So you have to get into something that you can live by. Yeah. So to me now, I train 6:15 to 6:30 in the morning, do weights. Push set one day, pull set one day, legs another day. I do that 5 days a week. In the afternoon, I would do 3 days a week. I do CrossFit. CrossFit's bad, wicked sport. I wish I did it when I boxed. Yeah. It's all round fitness. And I don't mean one of those CrossFit machines like that. I mean the sport of CrossFit. Yeah. I do CrossFit. Over 3 days in the afternoon, I go to the gym and spar.
Okay, so
just
sparring.
Spar.
Yeah.
Just and listen, it's the pyramid of life in the gym. The youngsters say, "Come on, Johnny, let's spar," because they want to beat me up. I did it when it was my chance, and so it's the pyramid of life. You see the guy who was the king of the gym, and then you come and think, right, I can get you now. Yeah. So you got to wall it down and take your beatings, and it's good. And I see the youngsters coming through. Yeah. So I know people saying, well, I haven't got time because I've got to work. You can always find time. I'm not having that as an excuse. Yeah. I know if you've got kids, you've got a job. You know what? Find time. I bet when you've got the kids, you drop the kids off and you go to work. When you're at work, you're doing your job. If you've got a lunch hour, do something in your lunch hour. Yeah. Simple as that. You'll always find at least 1 hour. Yeah. And once you've done it, it'll be hard. But once you've done it, you feel so much better for it. Mentally, it releases that endorphin where you think, I needed that. I just needed it. That's my happy pill.
Same with me when I train. I put myself through some pain. But then after, like I say, when you finish, it's just the best feeling.
Best feeling.
Euphoric.
That's why people take drugs, because they want the feeling that we have.
A lot of people don't understand that.
They don't get it. They don't get it.
It's just like crack cocaine. You just have to keep going for more and more and more.
And that's it. People, they just don't get it, and that's why I just think
it's not a bad habit, I don't think.
Yeah, and that's why it can be done, and it is. You just got to understand where it's coming from. You know, and people need to explain that. We all need a mentor, someone to guide us, someone to say, I want to be like him. Someone they can relate to. Yeah. And so in doing that, you know, if someone can relate to me, one person can relate to me, I'm happy. But I'm like any other person on the street. I am not a tough man. I was just in a tough job. Yeah. You know, and that's how it worked for me.
Yeah. So nutrition, how has that changed?
I think now,
from back when you first started to where you're at to this current day.
I think it's amazing. Brendan used to say to me, my trainer, the one thing you can't get punished for is jealousy and envy. And right now I'm jealous of the opportunities that are out there for a lot of sportsmen and women when it comes to nutrition, because you've got everything done for you. An understanding of how the human body works, what makes the body perform at its best in high peak. I remember when I was boxing for the European title back in 1990-91, I had to make weight on the day. I had to get down to 30 stone 8. So I'd starve myself. I would starve myself for the week up to the fight, and then just to make sure I was on weight, I can remember having an apple in my hand. I was bang on 30 stone 7. And Bren said, take a bite of the apple, but don't swallow it. Bang on 37. He went, right, swallow it, you can have that. This is how stupid it was. You know, we had to make the weight somehow. Times went on, you get some old wives' tales about eat this, eat that, you know, eat fruit. But now you look at the opportunities that are out there. Oh man, I discovered I was lactose intolerant at an early age, probably 14, 15. But there was nothing on the market that helped me. There's nothing on the market that worked for me. And I tried many things. And it's gone through for years. And so I just avoided certain things. I didn't have protein drinks. I just didn't have them because there was nothing there for me that worked for me.
Suitable for you.
That's suitable for me. And so that's how it was. I just try and make sure I ate the right foods. Didn't drink dairy and water. That's how it worked. And then I'd speak to many people, and it's funny because, and again, I'm like kicking myself thinking, why wasn't this around when I was boxing? You know, and I can remember it was only by chance. My friend Graham King has got a health shop in Mansfield. And I saw your product on the shelf, and I was telling Liam and his son about the elements. I love training, and now I'm getting older. I've got to find a way to make sure I can still keep myself in good nick, but get the right products in me. I'm getting tired. And he said, try this stuff here. I'm like, nah man, I've heard it all before. Everybody said this is it. Try it, Johnny, trust me. So I thought I'm going to do a bit of reading up on this stuff. I'm thinking this is too good to be true. But can you say things and advertise things if it's not true? I thought, right, the proof of the pudding's in the eating. I tried it. I have never looked back. And then I'm thinking, why were you not around when I boxed? You know what I mean? I don't understand raw sport. I just think, why was it not around when I was an athlete? Why was this knowledge, this understanding? But then I get the story. You're an ex-sportsman yourself, so you get it. You know what, this is what I want. This is what I want that works for me. So you'd have looked like I did and tried many other things and thought, you know what, at least you had the brains to say, I'm going to create something myself that works. You know, and because there are people like us that our bodies will not accept certain products, and it doesn't work for us. You've been running 18 months. To me, it blows my mind to think, why has nobody else thought of this? The Americans are supposed to be top of the field. Why have they not thought of this? You know, here in the UK, why have they not thought of this? I just don't get it.
Exactly what you said. I formulated products for myself in the sense of the key aspects that we look at, not just protein, anti-inflammatories, probiotics, the superfoods, the electrolytes, to create an all-one. Because obviously when you train, you perspirate. You know, there's the inflammation's caused in the body when you train. Obviously you need the protein, the amino acids for recovery, muscle recovery. So I wanted to create a product that tastes great, because a lot of plant-based proteins have that gritty consistency. A lot of them taste like, you know, crap. And obviously whey proteins, you know, obviously the most popular choice at the minute, but we feel we've created a product that can just really bridge that gap, because obviously whey protein's dairy based, so it gives you that naturally that kind of milky consistency, you know, that people like.
I'd email companies, look, help me out here. They just no answer.
With that comes all the other you know, negative side effects with it, all the fillers and additives and, you know, flavourings that, you know, they kind of have to add. So yeah, I'm super glad that you come across us and you genuinely.
Oh, without a doubt.
Products.
Without a doubt.
It's helped you a lot.
Yeah, without a doubt. And like, I pride myself on being a good nick. I pride myself on being able to train. And what I do is I post stuff to say, look, this is what I'm doing. Because I want guys to see at my age. If I can do this at 51, you can do this. If I can get in this condition, there are products out there that help you. Legal products that are out there that help you. You know, where you can think, right, I'm all right here. You know, you feel comfortable, you feel strong, you don't feel tired at the end of the day where you just want to sleep, you haven't got no time for no social life. And my friend, my colleague as well, Carl Frotch, he always comments and says, you know, he'll joke with me, how much can you deadlift, how much can you this, that and the other. And we joke about, and then I told him about this product. Now Carl, if anybody knows him personally, this guy is like, I call him Rain Man, because he turns over every stone, wants to know everything about everything. You ask him about certain subjects, you think you needed to shut up so you can go home and go to sleep. And so I told him about raw sport. That was it, he was on it. Phoning me up every day. And I'm like, don't talk to me, speak to Dean, man. You know, speak to him. I thought, he asked me questions like, I'm no scientist, he knows the product better than me. And that was it, I gave him you and I thought,
that's what I said, like 50 minutes on the phone. But top guy. And really surprised, he's really knowledgeable. Really, like say, you know, he's obviously done a lot of research. He asks questions, he's great. He's, so it'd be nice to obviously to try and meet him and interview him at some point as well.
I think that will happen. I think if Carl believes in something, that's never going to be an issue. I think with a lot of athletes, when they realise this product is available, you've been going 18 months, when they realise this product is available, I think it'll blow up. I think a lot of youngsters coming through will get it eventually. They will think this is the way forward.
And I think with you doing this intro and letting people know you use it, that will inspire not only your age generation, but it will inspire young kids.
I don't care about those young kids, they got youth. I care about people of my age, right? But the youngsters, but I do understand the youngsters.
The youngsters, the youngsters
they don't get it.
Consuming a lot of...
I didn't realise I couldn't have dairy products and certain things and certain weeks because I was getting ill, I was getting cramped up, I was getting bloated up, I'm like, I didn't get it. And I was always looking for everything else, and everybody else was like, I think as adults, we're the only adult animal that still has milk. I don't have milk. You know, I'll have like almond milk or coconut milk. I don't have cow's milk. I just don't think it's our body's not made for that as adults. That's me personally, and I know quite a few other people that think that way. And there's certain things about education, and you did the right thing, and you stepped back, thought, right, what works for me? You listened to your body, you looked at what was out there, and you actually done. If you help one person, which is me, I will help one person. It's made a difference, and so to me, I just think this product is something that will blow up. I think it'll blow up.
It's really confident. We've got a lot of products in the pipeline. So that's be able to get them to your signature arm, man.
Hey, bring it on. I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm just like, when I tell people, when they see me train, they say, how can you do that? Because I've always sweated like a madman. And I mean, there's pools around me. I've gone to the doctor and said, why have I sweat so much? He said it's healthy. I'm thinking it don't feel healthy. He said it's healthy. I sweat hard. And then all of a sudden I changed my diet around and included a lot of raw products, the raw products into it. I'm thinking, I'm all right. I actually don't feel rinsed out. I actually don't feel as tired, as worn out. I actually feel all right. Whereas before I'd finish and I'm like, I have to have a rest for a bit, and boom, I'm back on it again. To me, I'm all right. And the only reason why I don't jog as much as I used to, and I used to love jogging. I'd see a hill and think, boy, that looks a good hill. You know, I do, and because I snapped the patella tendon, and that's why I had to retire. I snapped my other patella tendon a couple of years later. I had a hip replacement, and my body's fallen to pieces. But then still, after doing all this, I'm still able to train the way I am, because I'm eating right. You know, if your body wears down, it wears down. But I'm eating right.
I've got a great. I don't know if I sent you that the joint formula. I think that'd be really good for you.
I don't know. No, you didn't. I didn't get that one.
Super great for the joints, connective tissues, super anti-inflammatory.
Send me that one because. But I've looked at your stuff and I'm thinking, I don't want to be greedy. Like, yo, send me something. You're like, oh, just don't send off and wait a bit. But I think you've done the right job in introducing something like this to sport, because it's not just footballers. It's not just boxers. It's athletes.
It's all athletes, and non-athletes as well. And
non-athletes. And non-athletes are the ones that they haven't got time to be athletes or as professionally, but they want to have a chance to keep themselves in good condition. And to me, I think you've given them an opportunity to work on an even keel. It's a must. It's the most I swear by anybody. I say, you'll try this. Just try it. Don't listen to me. Don't make yourself. You try it. Find out for yourself. Give yourself a month. Give yourself a month and say, right, that's me done.
Yeah.
I don't have to say anything. Say, give yourself a month. And that's why sometimes when it comes through, I just say no nonsense. That's it. Simple no nonsense.
Yeah.
that should be a trust of your life. Simple no nonsense. And that's
what I do. Well, like, once clean up the industry,
Yeah.
just bring something that's super clean, effective.
Yeah.
You know, branded nicely, super clean, informed sport,
Yeah.
third party tested, heavy metals,
Yeah.
pesticides. There's no stone left unturned with what we do. You know, we do everything. So.
Have you? What about in America? You know America? Have you tried the American market here, or is it different over there?
The American market is the market we want to get into. So we're going to be looking at probably the next 6 months.
Well, listen, you might see this in 5 or 10 years' time. Just remember, I was the first. Raw sport and every day.
Nice.
Every day.
Wicked. Cheers, Johnny.
Sweet, lovely.
Appreciate your time for that.
Anytime.
Wicked. Love that.
Anytime.